So anyway, we've got we want to do a special because spring break next week. And I don't know if my mic picked that up, but I'm gonna go back to I don't know how well the mic picked it up, but with the with having the No Kings
Correct.
protests, peaceful protests, as far as I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not Antifa. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But with having that going on and a lot of the things that we've been talking about lately, we can like Trump and support Trump and not like some of the things that he's doing. And
100%.
that's okay. That doesn't make us we're still conservatives, we're still Republicans, and there's still a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans, elected officials that are out there running around right now in DC saying the same thing. We don't want any troops on the ground. And that's my biggest problem with what's going on right now. And I really hope that that was a posture thing
Yeah.
as far as him getting the amount of troops that he did geared up and ready to go, just letting Iran know that, hey, this is what's coming next. You got to get to the table so we can end this thing. And hopefully that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the leverage he needed to use to get him to the table to talk peace,
Yeah.
then I'm okay with it. So,
Yeah.
the last thing I want to see is Americans,
In another Middle Eastern war.
yeah, that's last 20 years. And then, the taxpayers are paying to destroy Iran. And then we as taxpayers get to pay to rebuild Iran.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
I mean, that might be the best business model ever.
Yeah, no kidding, right? You can't lose.
Yeah.
You're making money one way or the other.
And it's I mean, we can disagree. I mean, like that, and that's what makes America great. I'm all for the No Kings people. Go out, have at her.
Yeah.
I'm against the war, and peacefully, that's your right. God bless you.
Yeah. Get out there and protest.
Get out and let people know what you're feeling, and call your representatives and email your representatives.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, then I heard this last night and I thought it was great. And I don't know if we can vote our way out of our current political system, especially after I heard this concept, and it was brilliant. Is you start talking about, well, we get to select, we get to vote, we get to choose. We get to choose, but we don't get to select who runs.
Right.
So really our votes, if both candidates were selected by the same people, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on.
Yeah.
And so if we don't get to choose who's on the ballot, does our vote really matter?
It's a good point.
If you look at the last presidential election, I don't know how you can be a leader in the Democratic Party, a party that's for the people, and not have a primary. I mean, nobody knew who the Democratic candidate. I mean, I think everybody knew that Joe Biden, the last few years had been hard on him, and he probably wasn't in physical condition to run for president. I think everybody in their heart believed that to be true.
Yeah.
But instead of having a democratic process to get a nominee,
they just threw Kamala.
They threw Kamala Harris in there, and then they got ding dong Tim Walz. And I heard this the other day. I had never heard this, but Tim Walz, the reason he was selected is because in the history of a presidential election, no candidate has raised as much money as Timmy Walz did in one day. He raised $35 million for her campaign.
I didn't know that.
Think about that.
Oh,
the guy that, $4 billion disappeared from his state, or $18 billion in his budget.
Yeah.
But he was able he must have people that really like him.
Well,
so where was the democracy? To me, that sounds like kingship.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna appoint Kamala.
That's a good point.
And so
you're right. Yeah.
I'm all for fighting against tyranny, but a lot of these people stand up for the No Kings. Did they want Kamala Harris to run for president?
Yeah. Yeah.
If they would have had a choice a year earlier, would they have picked Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
So do we really have a choice in our votes? I don't know.
That's a really good point. Well, when I was,
I felt smart.
It was. You did good. That's a really good point. We don't have
We get to
control
elect them, but we don't get to select them.
choose who's on the actual ballot. You know how much money goes in? I mean,
that was really smart. We get to elect them. We don't get to select them.
No, it is. We, and it's a really good point. 100% agree with you on that. When I was working with a couple of guys that were running for state senate, the amount of money that goes into their campaign. And if you're not backed by the majority or the minority, depending on who's running the House,
right?
And if you're not getting endorsed by that person, you're not raising $300,000 for your campaign and all these other things.
And that's state.
You're just going to get that state. Imagine what it is for Fed. Like, I mean,
yeah. Well, you look at, that's the thing now is there's Republican congressmen and women and senators that are like, well, now I'm going to get primaried. You're the incumbent. Think about that. You're the incumbent for your party. You were duly elected.
Yeah.
Maybe not selected, but you were elected and you did your term. And now your own party is going to back another candidate.
Yeah. That's happening in Wisconsin.
That's happened in Wisconsin. It's happened with Massey.
Yeah.
It's happened, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
That to me
that's nuts.
Is insanity.
Yeah. I mean, unless that person, look at Dan Crenshaw. Look at Dan Crenshaw. That's a great example.
Yeah.
That's a great example. In Texas, military veteran. And he got into office, and I mean, he did a lot of things that weren't aligned with the Republican base. And now he's no longer in office.
Well, and I think
that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think that's a situation that's interesting to me because I just don't like Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar because, I mean, I guess if his, like Thomas it's different from him and Massey because Massey is, I don't think anybody they put against him is going to win. Doesn't matter how much money they have because he's that popular.
Yeah.
But evidently Crenshaw wasn't. So the things he was doing were not in alignment with his district or constituency or whatever.
You know what it was? I think the one thing I can remember off the top of my head, and I'm pulling this out of memory, is when he backed the red flag laws against veterans.
Yeah.
He said, well, if you've got PTSD and you've got TB or whatever it was, I don't remember all the details.
You had a headache one time and was sad.
We're going to take your freaking guns away.
Yeah. I mean,
and that shit just created
especially in Texas.
And in Texas of all places.
Yeah, I mean, I
think they sell handguns at the gas station.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they do.
You can get them at Buc-ee's, I think. And that's the thing is like, I've met a lot of Marines, and then I've met a few Texas Marines, and they're people in Texas. God bless them. That's America, baby.
Yeah. That's a whole different.
So if you are representing people in Texas and you start talking about taking guns away,
yeah, you're done.
That'd be like living in central Wisconsin and being like, cheese is illegal.
Yeah, you can't hunt anymore.
You can't hunt. There's no cheese, and you're going to pay $74,000 for a case of beer.
Yeah, and a hunting license.
Yeah,
I think you'd have your house burnt down like at night.
Yeah, you would have a bad weekend.
Yeah, it wouldn't be going well.
What's up, buddy? The whole timing of the Joe Kent thing, and hey, maybe it's real. Investigate him. If he committed a crime, convict him.
Yeah.
But the timing sure feels a little.
It sounds like a witch hunt to me.
Yeah,
it feels 100%. Like a witch hunt to me.
There are no coincidences.
Thanks,
Jasper.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I had to shoot in 5 years, Dana.
That was my bad.
And Jasper's like, "Hey, show these are." It's not even
well, I had,
It's like healthy, he said. He said it's like a healthy.
Yeah, no, it's got vitamins and stuff.
Vitamins, minerals. Makes your wiener bigger. I'm like, give me two.
Give me two.
Utah, give me two.
Give me two. Actually, meatball sub does sound good right about now. Detrimental. Oh, there's a conversation we had earlier this week because Meta and Google were in court.
Yeah.
And they were found guilty, I guess, of not protecting children or making the platforms really kind of conducive to child endangerment.
Yeah.
And many
they had multiple years of knowledge that people were doing bad things on their platforms to kids instead of
predators.
trying to initiate some safeguards.
Do something. Yeah.
a jury in New Mexico, I believe,
Yeah.
was like, "You pay 400 million or something,
I
four
don't
hundred
know.
thirty-four
Now, who are
million."
they paying?
The victims?
I would hope
Good
so, but
question.
where's the money going? I don't know.
Well, we
But
may
so the whole Meta and the
yeah,
Google thing and everything that's we've kept the kids. Mac just got back on Facebook mostly because of his friends and sports and stuff
yeah.
in school, right? But I don't think he's on Instagram.
Do you guys up there, do you use Team Reach? It's like we have the app down here that everybody uses, and it's not like
For the schools?
it's not school.
Yeah.
It's like an app, and then like the schools can like so like for Rayleigh softball, there's
Yeah.
a group
Yeah, 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 we
for
do that.
and it's
Yeah.
on an app called Team
Yeah,
Reach, and
I've had
it's
get
slicker
2 of them
shit.
or something like
Yeah,
that for when Mac has his meets.
because then people
Yeah.
will take pictures, and then you just
Well,
at
we
the end of the year you just leave the group and
oh,
keep the app.
no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different than we
it's
got.
neat.
But we point, I guess, trying to make that we've kept them off of social media as much as we possibly can.
That's a good idea.
But now they're getting the age where it's kind of a thing. I think Bodie's still too young to be.
Yeah,
We've taken him off it several times. We always check. Probably Dana checks all the time.
yeah.
With who's messaging,
Good.
all the stuff that's on there. We've taken him off it a couple times. We made
Yeah,
sure the kids' settings are on it.
yeah.
Obviously, right?
My daughter now has like Facebook for Kids Messenger. She doesn't have a Facebook
Yeah, that's a thing.
page,
Yep, that's a thing.
but she's
Yep,
got a Facebook Messenger for
yep,
kids, and it
yep.
only takes friends from like
And the
I have to
parent,
approve them,
yes, the
and they
parents
have to
have to
either be
approve them.
kids,
You see the messages,
right?
and if anything pops up in the messages, Facebook automatically like lets you know that hey,
Yeah, yeah,
somebody's trying to friend your
yeah.
kid. You know what? That
So
is a good
and
thing.
then now through there they can do video calls. So like she'll call like her girls
Okay,
like 8 o'clock. Hey, what are you doing? I'm
yeah.
brushing my
Which why
teeth.
do you have a phone? Why don't you just call?
Well, it's because she doesn't have a phone. She's got one of my old phones that works on my
Oh, she's
Wi-Fi.
got Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Got it.
she doesn't have a phone. She doesn't
That
need a
makes
phone
sense.
until
That
she's
makes sense. That makes sense. That's a good thing. That's
older.
a good thing to do.
Dude, when we were kids, if you would have said to me, I'm gonna have a handheld device that you can talk to somebody in a different country or a
Oh yeah,
different state,
yeah.
and it'll be like you're looking
You're having a
like
face-to-face
that was Jetson shit.
yeah,
When we were kids, like
yeah,
the Jetsons had that shit.
you're having a face-to-face conversation. When Iran kicked off, I
Yeah.
called a buddy of mine in Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
and we were in the car. We were on our way down to bring Donnie the truck. We were on our way down to bring Donnie as the catering trailer, the food trailer,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and all around the road. We left at like 6 a.m. or something like that. Um, while we're on the road, she said, "Well, I saw something about we started bombing Iran." So I pull up my phone, and of course, it's just like when Ukraine and Russia kicked off. There's people with phones out there, and they're uploading all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah.
I saw that one of the retaliatory strikes went into Abu Dhabi or Dubai. I'm on my phone. I'm calling my buddy up, and Abu Dhabi's been there for a decade,
Yeah.
15 years, whatever it is. And I'm getting to see his face. It was great. While
Yeah.
we're driving down the road, and he's like, "Yeah, the last one hit like 10 blocks away." And I was like, "You're not going anywhere today, right? Like you're good where you're at." Because he's been I probably shouldn't talk about what he does there,
He's got
but he's
experience.
been there a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was really great just to be able to pick up the phone and get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Be like, dude, you're right.
But
Like,
I
you're
mean,
not going into work today, right? Because
yeah.
they're hitting military targets.
Yeah.
They've got a list. They obviously had a list because within an hour of us hitting them, they went flying. The drones went flying and
You mean
the
China gave
missiles
him a
went flying.
list?
Yeah, probably.
Russia gave him a list?
Did you see did you see the Chinese and the Russians started pouring stuff into Iran already?
Interesting.
Did I mention something about that?
Yeah, I think your exact term was proxy.
Proxy war.
Proxy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. Hopefully, it's about over. Hopefully, it's almost over. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the peace talks, whatever. And if they want to have their deal with Israel, let them have it.
Well, and that's so let's say devil's advocate, right? Let's say that President Trump is successful tonight
Yeah,
at 6 p.m. an hour and a half from now, we have peace now with Iran.
yeah,
Who's to say our allies in the region don't just keep bombing them?
yeah,
Because every time it feels like we're getting something accomplished or
yeah.
something's getting done, that seems to happen.
Whatever.
So then what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
We
your
got an
beard
hour.
looks nice today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're actually.
We didn't dance when we
No,
started.
we didn't do the. I.
It's a
You know what?
That's the white guy dance. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. That
Do the shoulder bump.